Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to another video with Yahya and Women of Qur'an now. So it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years, sisters, since we're doing this, coaching sisters, teaching them. And today I really wanted to share with you 10 lessons that I've learned over the past 10 years. And so follow along with me. We're going to go into lesson number 1. Lesson number 1. Okay, I'm gonna go over my notes here. So lesson number 1 is that I could not have done it on my own. I could not have done it on my own. I repeat again, I could not have done it on my own. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I could not have done it on my own. I made dua to Allah. And He sent me amazing people on my path. Amazing people, amazing connections, amazing opportunities, and amazing students, clients, community. It started with dua, because la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. But I say, this journey started with lots of supplications for Allah's help and guidance. And he did. He sent me help through different people and means. My husband actually saw in me, he saw the teaching element in me before I even thought about teaching anyone. I actually did not want to teach. He kind of pushed me into it. And but the first day I taught at the Sunday school, he filled me without me knowing. And when I looked at the video afterwards, my whole face lit up as I was teaching. And I was so shocked. I was like, I didn't know that this was something I really liked doing. So that was a huge help that Allah sent my way through my husband already, encouraging me, pushing me to teach and to benefit my sisters. And he helped me name the company, and for you, and then the brand Women of Qur'an now. A sister helped me with that name as well. So I could not have done it alone. Sisters have purchased business coaching courses for me to join and improve. A sister redid my entire website at one point for free. Another sister takes out of her time, audits my social media, gives me feedback. I could not have done this alone. So the lesson that I got from that is that moving forward, I will need to increase even more in teamwork to level up. I see the barakah in working with other people. So I want to do more of that work, inshallah ta'ala. Number 2, I know very little. I know very little. And I'm not being humble here. I know very little. And I believe a teacher's impact on the student is greater when they realize that they know very little, because it's going to push them to not only confirm information, make sure it's correct, double check, triple check. Also, it's going to help them to stay humble. It's going to help them to also learn and study more. They're not going to sit and like, oh, I already know this, but they're going to always seek knowledge. And that's going to benefit the student, because if your teacher is someone who's always seeking knowledge, you automatically benefit from it, right? So that is lesson number 2. I think that it has truly benefited me as a teacher and as a coach to continue pursuing, knowledge. I just completed an intensive Arabic program, and that has helped me so much in becoming a better teacher of Qur'an. Because now when the student they're asking me questions and I know it's linked to grammar, I'm able to explain to them, so, this is a grammar thing, but later on, if you take grammar, you'll understand. I'm actually teaching some sisters who want to learn grammar. And it made me a better teacher, a more skillful teacher, if you will. So lesson number 2 is that I know very little. And so it leads me to lesson number 3, which means keep learning. Have that thirst for knowledge, because that is going to be passed on to your student. And it will keep your student humble too. And they may continue seeking knowledge because they see you They understand the value of seeking knowledge through you as a teacher, and they'll just go on and seek knowledge, and it's just sadaqah jariyah for you, right? So that's lesson number 3. Moving on to lesson number 4. Stay focused on the right intentions. This is something to this day that I keep. It's like, okay, why are you doing this? Why did you do this? Why did you say that? Why are you making this move? Why? Is it the right intention? So in this role, what I've noticed compared to my previous career, I used to be an accountant for 12 years. Now I've been teaching Qur'an and coaching sisters for 10 years now. In my previous career, I didn't have praise and all of these things. I didn't have much praise. I didn't have much criticism. I was not really, you're an accountant, you're in your office, you're working with numbers. You don't really have that much interaction. In this career that I'm in now, I do nothing but interaction. With that, and then some of them will really praise you. They mean well and they praise you, but if you don't check your intention, your ego will be, your intention with waswas of shaitan, your ego may go lead you astray. And then some will criticize you unfairly because they don't want to face the truth. And they will criticize you for that. And again, where's your ego? So in both cases, keep the ego in check. That's lesson number 4. Lesson number 5. Dua your way through. So there are a few du'as throughout my 10 years that I believe they're like pillars in my work. Number 1 is istikhara. I made a lot of istikhara before even working with some of my clients. And I tell them to make istikhara before they work with me, especially in the higher end coaching packages. I said, make istikhara and then tell me if it's something that you want to invest in, and then we can work together. I'll make istikhara before taking on someone. And I think that has protected me a lot. Also, the dua of Musa alayhi salam, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. I do not start class without this dua. Rabbi zidna ilma or Rabbi zidna ilma. I usually make it general for all of us. I do not start my class without this dua. And I believe these 3 du'as really have protected me and brought a lot of barakah in my work. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my beautiful sisters. Okay, I'm interrupting the program to share with you about the membership club. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. It's been revamped, and these are like on the app. This is what you see. You have the core lessons and the welcoming page, and it tells you a little bit about what's going to happen this month, the meeting, the 2 lives, when it's going to happen. Actually, the first one is going to be this Tuesday in about 3 or 4 days from today. Tuesday, today is Sunday, so Monday, Tuesday, in about 2 days and a half, where we will be having a live on the name Al-Muhit. That's the name that we're doing, alhamdulillah. I don't think it's a name that many people know. It's not on the most popular list of the 99 names, but it is absolutely a very powerful name. So we, the sisters in the membership club already have the replay that they went over. So this live will just be us discussing the name, with our current experiences with this name in our lives. And I've already have so much to share. I've been reflecting a lot on this name on so many levels, and I can't wait to share this with you. If you guys want to be part of it, join our live, join our membership club. This is a perfect place for somebody who's very busy but who still wants to grow in their deen. You have Sirah, you have book club, you have self-ruqya, you have a tadabbur class that changes every month, you have a name of Allah that we go over every month, and you have 2 lives so that it's a bit interactive. There's also a group in Telegram with the sisters, with the members, so we are able to interact with each other whenever. And so you see sisters sharing their challenges, their thoughts, their experiences with the coaching challenges. We have a coaching challenge every month, a new coaching challenge every month. So definitely highly recommend that you join us, inshallah. I will put down below the link to register. It's open. We welcome you anytime, inshallah. All right, let's go back to the 10 lessons with lesson number 6. Lesson number 6. step outside your comfort zone. I like to be behind the scenes. So me actually being like this is me stepping outside my comfort zone. Whenever I push myself past comfort zone, I saw amazing results. I really did. But it's just, I have to go in comfort zone, then come back out. But this has been, like I mentioned, my previous work, very introverted, accountant. You're at your desk, you're working with numbers, little interaction. This, a lot of interactions. I've had to, speaking engagements, halakas. I've had to present, I have to talk, I have to, subhanAllah. And so I had to push past my comfort zone, but it's been good. It's a good thing. Number 7, teaching others how to treat you. This is one of the biggest lessons also working for myself that I've learned, but I've also learned that in my previous career as well, is that because I'm soft-spoken, I tend to smile a lot, and people think sometimes they just can step on your toes, and I've learned to gently push back and gently set boundaries and say, no, I do not like to be treated this way, and don't like to be treated that way. It's not always pleasant. It's not pleasant actually to have that conversation, but I feel it's a must, and it has to be done early on. I don't let it stay, as soon as it happens, maybe once or twice, then I'm like, okay, we have to have a conversation about this. I don't appreciate it. And I think it's been good. It's been good that way. Going back to the ego, making sure that it has nothing to do with ego, because I really value what I'm doing. This is the speech of Allah. And when it comes to the Qur'an, the fact that you're learning from me, we have to have that respect, and you have to be willing to accept my corrections, and you have to be willing to be respectful, because this is something else, right? This is Qur'an. Like, we're talking about the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, and have a strict policy, which I learned to do the hard way, but people will make me wait sometimes. When I used to take sisters in my home, the person will come and show up like an hour later. I said, no. I have to teach them how to treat me. They don't know. So that's lesson number 7. I started telling them how to treat me, and now we're good. So lesson 8 is very close to 7, which is setting boundaries. But in this lesson, I'm really focusing more on myself, with my balance, like between work, household, marriage, and stuff like that. Like, setting boundaries in the sense that, because I love what I'm doing, it was hard at first to not be working, because I wasn't used to working for myself. So when I used to go to work, I know I'm getting dressed, I go to work, I'm there. When I leave, I come home. There were boundaries. But when I started working for myself from home, I was like, wait, when is work and when is not work? It's like everything blended in. So I was working when I was cooking, and I was working when I was cleaning, and I was working. So I was all the way on, and I said, you know what? No, something has to be structured here. Now I have working hours. I have a day off on Friday, and I try to set boundaries. Initially, sisters will still try to reach me on Friday, and I would not respond until now everybody knows. And so that has been really good. Number 9, we're coming down to the last 2, number 9 and number 10. So number 9 is about not assuming. Sometimes when I teach a new student, I would assume they know like the basis or basic things. I was like, oh, they probably know this, so I'm not gonna mention it. Glad that I stopped that, because every time I will go back and I'll be surprised that they don't actually know. And some of them feel very shy telling me about what they know and what they don't know. So I've decided to not ask and just start from the basics and teach. And I think that has been so good, because they don't have to tell me they know or they don't know. They just take what the teacher is giving them and they're learning. Final lesson is choosing quality over quantity. This has been huge, and I'm still learning this lesson. You know, sometimes you feel like quantity is validation, but it's not. And the pleasure of Allah is the most important. And Allah loves what is consistent and what is ihsan. He said He created life and death, death and life, to see who among us are doing the best in deeds, right? Our best in deeds. So Allah loves ihsan. He loves excellence. He loves quality, not quantity. In many passages of the Qur'an, Allah Azza Wajal tells us that, you know, but a few of them were saved. A few of them didn't disobey, you know. Majority is usually they're doing something that's blameworthy. And so that's where I'm moving on forward. Like moving forward, I want to insist more on quality over quantity, not looking at numbers, but looking at the quality aspect. And also with my students, I don't want to just pass them because they're tired, or they really want to go to the next lesson. They really want to feel good about moving on, but I know that they're still weak where they are. I'm going to insist on quality, inshallah. So these are the 10 lessons that over the years I have learned in my role as a teacher and as a coach. And of course, each lesson we can really go in depth, right? We can really go in depth. But I felt like I would summarize these 10 lessons for you in case you're also trying to be a teacher or you're trying to work for yourself. I think these lessons are like general, and even as a parent, I think these lessons are really general. The fact that you can do it on your own. Don't try to do it on your own. That applies to everything. Don't assume. That's really, really important as well. It's just like, I think these lessons were like relationship lessons that we can all learn from, you know, that we can all implement in our various roles. And also they're really important lessons even for marriage, you know, for marriage. I'm doing a group coaching on marriage soon, inshallah. I'll put the link for the form if you're interested. So you would have to complete the form and then submit if you're interested and you want to be part of that group coaching. It's going to be a 6-month group coaching program, and I'm hoping to really dive in all these relationship skills that many sisters may not be aware of. And so I want her to know those skills. I want her to know her rights. I want her to know her obligations, and I want her to treat her marriage as an act of worship. And all of these lessons come in play in that as well. So I hope this was beneficial to you. We're gonna move back on with Ramadan program next week, inshallah. We're coming so close. It's countdown, sisters. It's countdown. So I have more information for you and try to get you ready. Bi-idhnillah, may Allah accept from us. Any good is from Him, any mistake is from me, and may Allah forgive me. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.